There was a man who was arrested over a Facebook parody that he was doing. And hey, it did not go well for him, but what is going well for him is the publication The Onion. What did they do? They filed a brief before the US Supreme Court. They literally did, to try to help this man and to elevate online parody news. It's very important to The Onion. The dude who got arrested, his name is Anthony Novak. Here's his picture of Parma, Ohio. Well, he spent 4 days in jail over a Facebook page that he created in 2016 that mocked his local police department. And he was prosecuted and a jury found him not guilty. Well, Mr. Novak is saying that his civil rights were violated and he's trying to sue the city for damages. A federal judge dismissed the lawsuit earlier this year, saying that the police had qualified immunity. And an appeals court upheld the decision. Now it's time for SCOTUS. The High Court is reviewing his request to take up the matter. So some background on Novak's parody here. So Mr. Novak's fake Facebook page for the police department was modeled after the real page, but it contained a satirical slogan, "We know crime." One post claimed that the department would ban city residents from feeding homeless people in an attempt to have the homeless population eventually leave our city due to starvation. Other posts joked about abortion and pedophilia. The police, as well as some residents who called them to complain about the site, did not find the page funny. That's interesting. Well, he sought some help from The Onion, interestingly enough. And one of Mr. Novak's lawyers, Patrick Giacomo, said in an interview Monday that last month he contacted Jordan LaFleur, the managing editor of The Onion, which is based in Chicago, to make him aware of the case and to see if they'd be interested in helping raise attention. And of course, they came to his defense. After agreeing to help out Novak's lawyers, this is what happened per the New York Times. To prepare the filing, The Onion worked with lawyers in Grand Rapids, Michigan, who had previously worked with Mr. Giacomo. Now, one of those lawyers, D. Andrew Portinga, said Monday that writers at The Onion had helped his team flesh out the text and legal citations with quips. In a filing that read, in places like one of its articles, The Onion laid out why it believes the authorities in Ohio had acted unconstitutionally, sprinkling insincere arguments in defense of parody, while riddling the rest of the text with moments of jest and hubris, claiming, for example, a readership of 4.3 trillion, and also boasting that it owns and operates the majority of the world's transoceanic shipping lanes. Well, the brief also noted that the case posed a threat to The Onion's business model. This was only the latest occasion on which the absurdity of actual events managed to eclipse what The Onion staff could make up, it said. Much more of this on the front page of The Onion would be indistinguishable from the New York Times. That is a hell of a statement, because hey, we need parody in this life. We need people to be able to joke and not be subject to governmental control. But for these officers engaging in their behavior, we wouldn't be here. But this is also a nice little dig at qualified immunity as well. Ben.
I personally, as a comedian, don't believe we do need parody. It's unbelievable where we've gotten, where first of all, people are confusing comedy, are confusing parody and satire with real life. And then the person's getting arrested for with all of the crimes going on, with our democracy actively being torn down. This is what gets brought to justice, a man putting up a comedy website to make fun of the police, something that we need to do to be able to hold people to account. The only problem with this approach is that when The Onion comes to your legal defense, do people take the legal defense seriously, or does the guy stay in jail or end up being found guilty from that? So it's an interesting choice for their side, but maybe not the best choice for him who actually is in some kind of legal trouble. But what a ridiculous place we're in, where people don't understand what satire is. And I think clearly the man that created this parody website has a good sense of humor, but despite that, he should receive the death penalty. I think that is obvious to any good-minded person. He should be fried, and they shouldn't even put one of those eye covers on. Let him see it, because he should suffer the consequences for his crimes. And I'm dead serious about that.
Oh my God. Well, I think that might be inhumane. That might violate that whole 8th Amendment thing against cruel and unusual punishment.
I don't care. This guy made jokes, Adrienne. We don't have room for that in America anymore. He made jokes, fry him.
I do love that he had posted it on Facebook and some of the local residents didn't like it. It's like, of course they didn't like it. It's Facebook. That's where your aunt and like grandma hang out. Like, why didn't he go to a platform that would have been more receptive to his comedy, like Twitter?
Yeah. This is a real tough thing. I'm glad the community has rallied against this guy and are gonna finally hold his feet to the fire. I hope literally. I think maybe firing squad is the move for him.
Absolutely, I think that is something that could happen without a doubt. But hopefully it won't. Hopefully he'll be able to beat the case and maybe undermine qualified immunity. I think it would be interesting though with the Supreme Court if they end up, depending on how they end up going with this, especially because I know this particular term that just kicked off yesterday is going to be very tumultuous in terms of them ripping up things like affirmative action in schools, as well as possibly ending democracy as we know it. But that's just some of the exciting stuff that's going on in law.